Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, September 3rd of 2019. Yesterday, for a holiday session, we had quite the range. This is yesterday. I have not scrubbed it from my charts. Generally, I do scrub those sessions from my charts, but I have elected to keep yesterday on my charts for throughout today. There were 29.5 points of range on less than 100,000 contracts, but the way that the session traded, primarily the majority of the range, I think 75% of the range came within about 10 minutes of trade. So that's how thin it was. It was just the ease of movement, considering the volume and the lack of depth in the action, really made trading yesterday a bit dangerous. So in today's ETH session, in the current ETH session, today's and last night's ETH session, as you can see, we do have a little better stats. We have close to 300,000 contracts, 21.25 points of range. Not bad. It's the odd thing is it's trading all inside the holiday session range. So up here we do have Friday's range. We have Friday's trade. And we have the low of Friday right there. So basically, the session tried to peek inside the lows of Friday, which was a full session, and has now come down. And those responsive sellers have rejected range, and now they're coming down and just building this area out in the ETH session. So, this is an area of balance. I think it does make an opening trade pretty risky. I think today is a excellent day to just let the open show itself and let the character of the day show itself. So let's just jump into the zones and talk about what we're looking for, the trades we're looking for today. Okay, so today I'm entering the day with a bias of neutral. I think that you could make an argument to attach a secondary bias of short or long as it was light short or light long to either side of the trade plan. I've decided not to. I want to see some character of the day prior to attaching a secondary bias to or secondary aspect to the bias. Now, so my primary idea for today is that we do get a wide range two-sided trade. Now, I would be very surprised if both sides of scenario one trade. So the scenario one range low is 28.85 by 88 right down here. The range highs up here, sorry about that, are 29.22 by 25. So you can see this is a pretty wide range, actually, for a like say a neutral bias, a balance type day. And I don't think either side of this will trade. So initially, early in the session, we should get some information in these IZ zones, okay? Now, I've structured these IZ zones to give us the information on which side of scenario one is likely to trade. So, balancing above the upper IZ zone, which is 28.98 by 29.01, would tell me that the buyers have stepped in. You can see there's multiple reasons why these IZ zones were placed here. I think these zones, like, they're information zones, so you don't want to use them for trades initially. You want to see some type of information form inside them before you're using these zones for trades. Like I say, they are information zones. So price coming down and then balancing up in this area would give me a strong indication that at least the scenario one range highs are going to trade. Now, whether it be the scenario one range highs or the scenario one range lows, I'm going to expect a reaction, a very tradable reaction off both of those zones today, especially on first touch. Okay, so now, conversely, if we open up and we come down and do one of these and start to balance down in here, then I'm going to believe that the S1 range zone will trade. It will come back up. Now, if we come back above this initial support zone, which is 28.92 by 95, then we're going to spend the day balancing in here. Okay. And basically the same with if we come up off the S1 range highs and come down, then we could start balancing up in here. Okay. So, you know, I think it's going to be important to really keep an eye on these extremes. The second time they trade, not the first time. Like I say, I am expecting, I would be very surprised if these zones don't get a very sharp reaction, a very nice tradable reaction, first test. Now the second test, what you'll want to be looking for is, we'll be looking for any indications that one side is going to go initiative. So if we're seeing some buyers really start to give indications that they're going initiative, and the sellers starting to back off, okay, this market could jump higher pretty quickly. So this area up in here from the S1 range highs to the primary target, that could trade pretty quickly if we do see the conditions in place where the buyers are likely to go to initiative, and we should see the sellers really back off the tape, and that should be evident in our delta, our footprint, tick, volume. You know, it should be what I would expect is this to just come right up there very quickly on a wide range bar. You know, just maybe a few bars even, just to cover the distance between the S1 range high and the scenario 2 initial resistance. Now the scenario 2 initial resistance is 2933 by 36. So now this primary target up here, I think, is very reachable at 2944 quarter by 47. Now on this primary target, I would also expect first test up in here, a nice reaction, possibly down into this initial resistance zone. All right. Now on the low side, it's structured a little differently. Okay, so the low side, if the S1 scenario 1 range lows break, the scenario 3 initial support zone, which is 2878.5 by 81, has potential to bring in the buyers and take us back up in here. Okay, so there is a little different structure on the highs and the lows. This scenario 3 initial support zone, if this does break, then and once again that is 2878.5 by 81. If this zone does break, then I would anticipate that what we're going to see is some liquidation type activity. Okay, below here. Now, below this, what I would expect this to trade, I expect to come down, retrace, come down, balance, and then hit the primary target. All right. You know, whether it's going to exceed the range for the primary target, that would, you know, it's all going to depend on the volume. So I think it's important to keep in mind that, especially in this environment, volume is more telling of potential range rather than direction. Okay. All right, everyone. That does it. Let's start the week off on the right foot. Be disciplined. Follow our process. Trade well. And I will speak to you after close. And as always, any questions, anything of that nature, anything I can do to help, please feel free to message me. Thank you, everyone. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend and stayed safe. Bye-bye.